Hey collectors, welcome to Star Wars Collected. I'm Jonathan. Today we have another Hot Toys unboxing. We know on our channel anytime we see this logo, it's a good day. Today we are going to be unboxing IG-11 from The Mandalorian Season 1. If you're anything like me, there's always more Hot Toy figures out there than what you actually have a budget for. I picked this guy up when I saw Season 1 Mandalorian things sort of going away. The original armor had just sort of gone away off the website, and you can still pull the trigger on this, and I decided I would like to have those two displayed together in a collection. Of course, Hot Toys brought out another version of the original armor of the Mandalorian just recently, so who knows whether I made the right judgment call on this one or not, but it's here, it's gonna be great, so let's go ahead and open it. As always, they have the brown shipper box on the outside. Always seems to be some debate in the community as to whether these things increase the value of the collectibles inside or not. On the top here is a Sideshow Con is back, and there's a good chance, sticker that is, and there's a good chance that as you're watching this video, Sideshow Con is going on right now, which is sort of their own digital conference. Hopefully they'll show some new product, which actually they've been showing a lot of new product recently, and maybe they'll also throw us some discount codes. So here we are with the box here. It's very reminiscent of their other boxes. The Mandalorian seems to sort of have this sand colored bar towards the bottom of their boxes for everything, at least from Season 1. Let's go ahead and put this up here. Always have beautiful boxes. I'm not a huge box person, but they always look nice. So we will free him from his tomb. IG-11 was an interesting character. Taika Waititi is just a name that if I hear it, I'm instantly interested in any project he's working on. So I was very excited to see that he was not only acting in The Mandalorian Season 1, lending his voice to IG-11, but was actually directing an episode. He is fantastic. Thor Ragnarok, I think, is probably my favorite Marvel movie, even though it's sort of kind of out there. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does with Thor Love and Thunder. Okay, so we have everything here. Now, IG-11 is not like a particularly complex figure that's gonna have a lot of extra accessories and things like that, but my hope is that he will display well on the shelf because of all of his little intricacies. I think of the Hot Toys mall that I have from Solo, and my favorite part, I think, of that figure are his robot legs and just how cool those look. All right, nothing in this piece here. So let's take a look at this again without any of the plastic shielding on the front. And let's see what we have in here. So we have his bandolier. We like bandoliers on this channel because we like Wookiees. Looks like maybe a swappable chest plate here showing his detonation. Sort of a running joke of that first season was that he was always just moments away from just blowing himself up to do whatever he needed to do to solve his mission. Okay, he's got some plastic socks on here. Looks like those are taped, so we'll probably cut those, but these will slide right off. How about the head? Yep, the head will slide right off too. Let me take my razor blade here and cut this tape off. Let's see if I can find a good spot here. Probably cut on the back just in case we were to nick the figure. Okay, all the way through on that one. I remember thinking, growing up, that IG-88 was always one of the more interesting looking bounty hunters. I love that original group of bounty hunters. I have a cool Kotobukiya display of all of those guys together. So I already have an IG-88 figure, if you will. And IG-11, of course, is nearly identical. I know before the show premiered, they had kind of joked that one of the running jokes of the series was going to be people mistaking IG-11 for IG-88 to his annoyance, but I don't really know if that really came to pass or not. So something that's interesting about this character is what is his face? So I'm thinking, is it this main dot here, I know these things move around a lot, but I'm actually not completely sure which of these little components we face forward. So we'll do that one for right now. You know, as you would expect with Hot Toys, there is just a ton of detail here. The paint job especially is very nice. You have all different tones of silver and gunmetal and sort of bronze and into rust. And the sculpting of the helmet and the head rather is great. I'm sure as almost all of you probably know that the head is actually a piece off of a Rolls-Royce airplane, and that they are first seen in the cantina and continue to be seen in the cantina as they bring the cantina back in shows like The Mandalorian and others. So always interesting to know the behind the scene things of a character and to see the real world things that they would grab from and how they were just sort of making it up, just like how a lot of us sometimes feel like we're just sort of making it up as we go. It's good to know that the greats are kind of doing the same thing. We're going to go ahead and pop the bandolier off this piece of cardboard here. Slip that out, and I believe that is it for this case. So we will go ahead and put this piece aside. Everything in there. Looks like there's some kind of paperwork here at the bottom, instruction sheet. So why don't we go ahead and just go ahead and get those out, and we'll make this a more complete unboxing and review. I'm just gonna cut it on one side and cut it on the other here. Okay. All right. Done with that box. Okay, so we have a display here. It says IG-11 on the front. It has a sand texture bottom. I believe that this is the exact same sand texture that the Mandalorian from season 1 has. All right, so we've got the stand plugged in there. Let's go ahead and take a look at their little instruction booklet here and make sure we're not missing any goodies. I'm sure it'll show us how to and where to put the batteries in. All right, I have our little instruction sheet here. It has some images and some pictures, and it shows us some articulation, things of that nature. So I'll go ahead and just follow this. It looks like the batteries go in on top here. It's kind of funny how that pops up. And we have a whole bunch of batteries inside of here. It looks like we need a small screwdriver to get that open. And we put 3 batteries in there. So I will hold off on doing that for right now, but I will show you what that looks like here at the end of the video. But we'll just put his little hat back on. I'm gonna face him towards you guys. There's a lot of really cool detail here around his torso. I know in the show, he rotates all around. And one thing that I probably should have expected, but I'm a little bit surprised by here, is just the articulation here. These sort of rubber gaskets are hiding a joint underneath there, but that looks incredible. You can really position him however you want. I know my IG-88 figure as a kid was always very stiff. The legs were very stiff. So it's kind of cool to see that you can actually move this one around, which of course is what you would expect from Hot Toys. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and put on his bandolier here. Also, I guess we have to decide whether we want to keep this chest plate or swap in the other one. I kind of want to swap in the other one. Again, this is also a battery system, so we will come back at the end here and put all the batteries in it and show you guys what that looks like. But I feel like that whole self-destruction setup of his was such a part of his character, oddly. It looks like this just unvelcros, at least on one side. So we will snake this on him like so. Just line that Velcro back up in the back. Okay, these hands also are articulating, as one would expect. So these open and close, and oh my gosh, they actually move down to the individual finger. See, this is what sets Hot Toys apart just from about anyone else. Now, I'm not saying Sideshow wouldn't do the same thing, but a figure which could be very basic, a figure which you could somewhat phone it in on, but they don't. They put the articulation where it should be. They put the art, the different paints and stuff like that where it should be. Before I opened this, I was sort of like, I don't know, I bought this guy, but maybe he wasn't the right choice. Maybe I should have gotten something else off my list. But now that I'm here and I'm looking at him and I'm thinking about all the detail that's put into him, I think I'm very pleased to be adding him to my collection. So let's put some guns in his hands, and then we'll put some batteries in him, and you can see what he looks like in all of his glory. So it looks like they're gonna have us position the gun like this, and then use this inner set of fingers to really grasp it, and then put a finger through there for the trigger. Actually looks great, holds really well. I was sort of wondering, I saw these hands and they're all big, and some have big hands as well. I was thinking, oh, this might look a little odd when I actually get something in there, but it totally works. So I'll do the same thing on this side. This looks like this is just an E11, so the standard issue blaster that a stormtrooper would have. So it's a little bit smaller, but again, because of how articulating these fingers are, you can put them exactly where you want to and need to, which is pretty cool. The further instructions on here, they're just showing us that the feet actually articulate, maybe I need to get that grasp a little bit better, that the feet actually articulate here about 30 degrees, and that you get 90-degree bend here, 90 degrees at the elbow. So you actually, for someone, like again, if you had the action figure growing up, super stiff, not the most playable looking guy in the world, but this one, you could actually probably pose him in kind of a cool position. So I'll get that gun back in his hand, and I'll get some batteries in him, and when we come back, we'll see him in his full glory. Collectors, here we have it, the fully built, fully posed IG-11. It's kind of weird to think, IG-11 is probably the second most famous IG droid out there behind IG-88, but when you think about screen time, IG-88's on screen for like a minute, maybe, in the background. But he just has such a legacy. But IG-11 is very cool too. Love to see Taika Waititi in the Star Wars universe. Cannot wait for his film. But overall, I'm more pleased with this piece than kind of before. Like I said, I was sort of like, did I make the right choice on this one? But he looks really cool, and I love his posability. Don't knock him over. I love his posability. He doesn't come with a whole lot of accessories, but he comes with, I think, the right ones. And even though you can't really leave the lights on your Hot Toys, how cool is the blinking chest piece? And these lights here, as you rotate this around, it's going to let light out all different kinds of ways. So a very cool piece that I think will look great on my shelf with my other Mandalorian Hot Toys. But hey, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a like. If you enjoy videos like this, please subscribe. There's new videos like this here all the time. See ya.